Hi guys, and thank you for tuning in with me, your girl Zesty and the Zesty Pooh crew. So today, you guys, I am making my favorite dishes from Chick-fil-A. So what I'm making is my version of what I usually order, which is their banging macaroni and cheese. I'm going to make a Chick-fil-A original chicken sandwich, my version, of course. And then I'm going to also make some roasted broccoli. I was going to make the kale salad, but I couldn't find any kale, and then I couldn't find all the rest of the ingredients. They do have broccolina in their kale salad, so I'm just going to do roasted garlic and lemon broccolina. All right, so let's get into this video. I know a lot of people are a little leery about eggs and mac and cheese. Trust me, it's going to still be creamy. I also am going to add my cheeses to this. I like to stir it in to get it nice and smooth and creamy. All right. Now I'm going to add 8 ounces of Velveeta, as well as 1 stick and 2 tablespoons of butter. And I chunk it up really small, so that way each bite can have pieces of butter, as well as get that creamy component from the Velveeta. I'm also going to add in 2 cups of freshly shredded Monterey and Jack cheese. Am I saying that right? Monterey Jack? Yeah. All right. And we're going to get in here. And I'm also going to add about 1/2 cup of milk. And I'm also going to add 2 tablespoons of sour cream. 1, 2. I'm not making my usual mac and cheese, which is a much larger batch. To this, I'm going to add, I'm going to say almost a pound. I might be able to fit all of this in here. Let's see. I don't want to, I'm dropping noodles everywhere. And these noodles should be al dente. Maybe not quite a pound. Yeah, because I don't think I'm going to fit. This is all, so almost a pound. So I'm going to say almost a pound. And contingent on which size, what size pan you're using, you can make the whole pound. But see, me, I have a smaller pan than what I usually make. And I did that intentionally. So you see how all these little lovely bites are going to be in here. And each bite, you're going to get some of that butter, some of that Velveeta. It's going to be real good. And you just want to make sure you get all your sour cream mixed up. Also to this, I'm going to add garlic powder. Now, I'm very generous with my garlic powder with my mac and cheese. I like garlicky, creamy, velvety macaroni and cheese. That's my thing. If you're not a garlic powder fan, do not. Me, I add probably roughly about 2 tablespoons. And I'm also going to add about 1 teaspoon of black pepper. Just because I think black pepper gives it a kick. You can use white pepper as well. So right at 1 teaspoon. I'm also going to add about 1 tablespoon of onion powder. And y'all, I don't really measure mine out. I just kind of, because I mean, when it's powder, you really don't have to worry about it. I also use about 1/2 teaspoon of ground mustard. And that just gives it that kick we're looking for. Honestly, I don't know what the ground mustard does. I can tell when I don't use it. I love ground mustard. And also, I'm going to add paprika to it. And honestly, I don't measure paprika. I really do paprika for color. All right, now that we got this all gooey-ooey, and I have my oven set to 350. All right, now what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna pour everything in my little pan here. Get all of that goodness out of there. All right, I think that was perfect. Yeah, and you guys probably hear Camden. He's in the background counting. And so to this, to top this off, I'm going to add in, and I don't remember. Make sure your macaroni noodles are al dente. I probably gave these a nice, I don't know, probably about 10, maybe 12 minutes. All right, so I've topped this with probably about 1.5 cups of extra sharp cheddar cheese. And now I'm just gonna top it with some seasonings. I always season my cheese. This is a good cheese. This is a Tilbrook. I think I'm maybe saying it right or wrong. I don't know. That's garlic powder where I just sprinkle it on the top. A little bit of dry mustard on the top. Just hit it just here and there. I definitely want to add a little salt. I usually add a pinch of sugar to my recipe that I make for like Thanksgiving and special holidays. I'm not going to do that because this is supposed to be like, I'm trying to mimic as much as possible Chick-fil-A's mac and cheese. And so I always top mine off with black pepper. Just to flavor that cheese. We like black pepper. So I told you before in my other videos that everything you see that's savory, we're probably gonna have black pepper. And then I'm gonna top it with some paprika for color. I love that cheese, the redness whenever the cheese gets kind of crispy. So I'm gonna start out with probably about 30 minutes in the oven on 350. And then we're gonna come back and check it. Okay, so I have marinated these chicken breasts in dill pickle juice and probably a little longer than what I probably should have. I hear that you should only do it for like an hour. Well, mine has been in there for probably about 2 hours. And what I did was I took the chicken breast that I had and I just cut them in half. Some of them I kept connected because I thought that'll make for a pretty chicken sandwich. And some of them I just kept like normal chicken fillets. I didn't pound them out, however. But here I'm going to make my son, Camden, who you guys hear, I'm going to make him some chicken nuggets out of this. So basically I'm just cutting it up. And so therefore when I season it, their chicken nuggets probably around that big. Some of them, sometimes they be a little bigger. So looks like he's gonna have about a 9-piece. So to this, all right, so to this I'm adding some nature seasoning. You can feel free to add any type of seasoning salt you want. You don't have to go crazy with it. You really don't, but I like mine to be seasoned. This is my nature season. And I honestly do not measure. I just put however I feel free. So, and then the nuggets will probably catch the bottom of that. And I'm going to add my garlic powder. If you're using garlic salt, you don't want to go crazy with it. You want to make sure you hit it. And that pickle juice, that pickle brine does a good job of giving it like a good flavor. This is onion powder. I'm not gonna go too crazy with this. Just a little hit of it on each piece, just to give it that kick. All right. Next to this, I'm going to add some celery salt. This is very salty, so do not go over liberal. As you can see, I'm letting off of my sprinkle game. I'm like really just barely sprinkling it. I'm treating it as if it's just salt and a real salty salt. But celery salt does give it a really good flavor. I've made this before. All right. So I'm also going to add some thyme. Uh-oh, come on. So with the thyme, you want to do the same as you want to treat it just like the celery salt. Because thyme can be a strong flavor. It's ground thyme. So, and again, those nuggets are going to catch the seasoning from the bottom. And also, lastly, I'm going to add a little bit of the basil leaves. Just a little bit. I'm just going to make it rain on top of the chicken. And that's how little basil I want. All right, so I'm going to have 1/4 cup of milk. To this, I'm going to also add 2 cracked eggs. This is going to be a wet batter. No shells, no shells, no shells. All right, we got it. All right, so for my dry batter, I'm going to add about 1.5 cups of all-purpose white flour. Then I'm going to hit it with 2 tablespoons of powdered sugar. That's right, powdered sugar. next time you get a regular chicken sandwich from Chick-fil-A, I want you to look for that hint of sweetness. And you probably won't be clutching your pearls like you are right now. I promise you. You're going to be like, oh my God. Oh my God, it was there all along. It's so good. Yay. All right. Yeah, I know I'm silly. So I'm going to add a little salt. And I'm going to add a little pepper. Because if you notice on the outside of Chick-fil-A sandwich, it is seasoned. So, and then I'm going to add paprika just for color. And y'all, I'm just eyeballing it. This is just, you do not have to add the paprika. That's just for me and my own sanity. So what we're going to do, get those incorporated real good. And make sure you get that powdered sugar incorporated real good. So I have a cast iron in back of me, and we're going to take this to the fryer. And I'm going to show you how you're going to do this. So you're going to take the chicken and you're going to dread one piece in the egg mixture, in the egg and milk mixture. You want to make sure you let it drain off really good, because it's not necessary for this thing to be packed. I'm going to do that. And I'm going to get one of these bigger pieces right here. And I'm going to dip it in. And you're going to let it drain off. I like my chicken on my chicken sandwich like this. It's thin, but yet it stretches out over the bun, okay? So I'm probably not going to put more than maybe one more. Uh-oh. And I have mine on medium heat. You do not want your oil too hot, because you will burn it really quick. You will burn your sugar, okay? So I'm going to do one more, and then we're going to head on over to the fryer. All right, so what you're gonna need, if you don't have one of these wire racks to catch the oil, then get you just some paper towels and lay it down in the pan. I like to use tongs. So my oil is hot. It's not too hot. And I wanna show you how you know when it's hot. You see these little bubbles? We're ready to go. So what I did with mine is I had it on low for a while until I got ready to cook, and then I just crunk it up to medium. And we're gonna see how this bad boy goes. Yeah. If it's loud when you put it in, it's too hot. And you don't want to overcrowd your pan. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and drop those nuggets in there, because I don't have enough room to get those big chickens. And we're gonna let this fry for about 5 minutes on each side. The chicken nuggets are going to float whenever they start getting done, so I'm going to eyeball them. They usually don't take as long because they're cut up. All right, so it's been probably about 3, maybe 4 minutes, and I'm going to go ahead and give it a flip. And if some of those nuggets gets under there, it's not gonna hurt it. And you don't want to move it too much, because you don't want to lose that good crust you got going. So I'm gonna let it cook. And I'm gonna flip it, and probably I'm gonna give it another 4 minutes. And I'm gonna flip it again. All right, so for the roasted broccoli, what I did is I added probably about like 4 small garlic cloves in here. And then I melted about 3 tablespoons of butter. So I'm going to get in here. And I'm also gonna squeeze the juice of a lemon. Honestly, I haven't quite learned how to use this thing. I am horrible. Oh, it's supposed to be. All right, so that seed won't go in there. So to this, I'm gonna add garlic powder. Uh-oh, I got a seed in there. Get out of there. And you just wanna mix it up really good. And again, I go liberal with my garlic powder. And I'm gonna put this in the oven. And I also have my nature seasoning. So you just wanna give it a nice good season, just like you would any sauteed vegetables. And also I'm gonna add garlic powder. Onion powder. And honestly, you just eyeball your seasonings, because I like my season. And also to this, and then you wanna get in here and you wanna really, really mix it up, because all the garlic and lemon mixture is at the bottom, but you want to make sure it's coated And because it's gonna cook with the mac and cheese, it's not gonna cook as fast. So that'll give us time while we're cooking our chicken and getting our chicken sandwiches ready. So what I like to do with my mac and cheese, and I want y'all to see how creamy it is. It's creamy and it's cheesy, but yet it has texture to it. It's not just like a cheesy mess. And this cheese, ooh, I love a crust. So what I always do with my mac and cheese, so that way it can rest and still stay hot, I just cover it with a little piece of foil until I'm ready to serve it. So the nuggets are done, I told you. And don't expect a really, really crispy crust, because Chick-fil-A doesn't have a really, really crispy crust. It's gonna get a little crust. I mean, it has the crust, but it's not gonna be extra crispy. It's not gonna be like that Popeyes harder crust. It's gonna be more like a soft seed. So the chicken breast, I'm gonna let cook a little more because I don't want that crust to fall off. So I'm just gonna let it cook. I'm gonna give it probably about 5 more minutes. Okay, so I have some artesian buns that I'm gonna toast back here. But first, let me show you my Chick-fil-A chicken sandwich. And it's a bit sticky because of the sugar. It's caramelized. So it was in there for a total of, I'm gonna say probably about like 15 minutes. So what I'm gonna do in the meantime is I'm gonna get this little nasty stuff around the rim out. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I like to scoop mine in because I have these little things that prevent me. You wanna make sure you get all the little remnants that came off from the batter, so that way it won't burn your grease. And that little stuff around there, I usually just take a wooden spoon because it's sticky because of the sugar. And you just get it in there. And then I like to let my grease heat up a little bit. This grease is pretty hot, and because I'm using cast iron, it holds heat pretty good. I think some may have floating down there. So you just want to get all of the remnants. And I'm gonna put pickles. We like pickles. And so to this, I have a really big one of those pieces that we talked about. This is for my husband. I asked him, did he want the big piece? He said, yep. And y'all hear Camden in the background running around. He's already eating his nuggets. All right, so to this, I'm gonna load this little cup up. So this is gonna be our original Chick-fil-A chicken sandwich with some broccoli. Uh-oh, I dropped that. Hey, that's okay. And we are going to, there we go, there we go, there we go. Anyway, all right, let me wipe that off. We want our presidential. I'm thinking about the election, y'all. It's too close. All right, I'm just sprinkling a little bit of pepper. Just because we do pepper around here. And y'all see that Chick-fil-A original chicken sandwich? Check that bad boy out. That's crazy. He gonna bite into that and just go bananas. So with that being said, y'all, I love each and every one of you. I enjoy each time we have a chance to get together like this. And I wish you well wherever you're at in the digisphere, whether it be morning, noon, afternoon, in the middle of the evening. Well, with that being said, you guys continue to love out loud and do our 3 things. Hit the like, subscribe, and the notification bell so that way you can be updated each and every time I upload a video. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and for those of you who don't know, for those of you who are new, I want to read a positive quote. This is something that I do so that way you'll have something to grow on. And what this says is, I will face whatever comes today with a positive attitude. And with that being said, y'all continue to love out loud. I love you guys, and I cannot wait to see you next time. And I promise y'all, we are gonna get to mukbanging or cookbanging. So don't you lose sight. We are still putting things together in the background, and we want to make sure it's right. So when I do a cookbang, I want to make sure everything is right, so that way we can, we can join together and fellowship with one another. Until next time, I love y'all and take care.